Hi friends and welcome. Hopefully if you're joining us, make sure you say hi or hello. Just let me know you're joining us today. I'm super excited about our 12 days of Stampin' Up! Christmas, and I can't wait to show you some of the awesome 12 days. Today we're going to go through adhesives, so I'm super excited to show you all of our adhesives and everything we do with those. Just give it another second, make sure we're live. Awesome. Okay, all set. Hi guys, my name is Tracy Allen. I am a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator, and I've been a crafter for 20 plus years and working with Stampin' Up! Now for almost 2 years. So working with Stampin' Up! Products for many, many years before that, but actually selling for the last 2 years. And I love it. It's one of my favorite things to be able to share all my favorite crafting stuff with you guys. So today is day 6. If you noticed yesterday, day 5 didn't post. So I haven't had this problem with Facebook before. I pre-schedule a lot of stuff. And my day 5 disappeared. I don't know what happened to it. So if you see day 5 pop up today, that's why. I'm going to go back and redo day 5 because I don't want to miss that. And there's, a little question and answer thing to go with it. So just know that'll pop up today. But today is day 6 on December 6th, and we are going to go ahead and look at adhesives today. So I'm going to go through a bunch of adhesives with you that we offer, why you might want one adhesive over the other. It just really depends on personal preference, I think, when it comes down to our adhesives. They all kind of have a different task, but for me, I know I grab a certain adhesive because that's the one I like the best, and I use that most often. And so it's just a matter of playing with it, figuring out what you love, but I'll at least give you some idea of what adhesives we have, so you can kind of get an idea of what works for you. Just as a reminder, we do have a host code for this special, so if you're ordering during our 12 days of Christmas, make sure you put in our host code. That host code is going to get you some extra special things from me. So everyone who places an order is going to get something special, probably some ribbons and embellishments and maybe a card kit or two. So, but everybody's going to get a little extra something in their order, as well as that's going to get you entered into our big drawing. So at the end of our 12 days of Christmas, if you have been on our Facebook page, if you have been to a live like you are right now and commented, hi Jolene, good morning, I guess good afternoon. So if you've been to a Facebook live and commented, if you've shared the video, make sure you comment shared under the video. That's going to get you extra entries in. And then every order is going to get you 5 additional entries, and that's going to go toward this awesome Merry Hello stamp set. This is amazing. It is a host only. So typically this is something we only make available to our hostesses who throw a party. Now you still can. We've still got plenty of days in December if you want to earn it. But if you'd like to win it, this is how you do it. You just engage with us these 12 days, and I'll make sure that gets to you before Christmas time. And you know what? If it doesn't get to you before Christmas, you've got plenty of reason to use it for next year as well. What I do love is there's a 2020 on here. And I mean, come on, we all need to commemorate this year in some way, somehow, right? It's been a little bit crazy. So you can actually stamp a little stocking here, put your 2020 on it. Super cute. Love, love, love this stamp set. So that's going to be, somebody's going to win that one, which I'm super excited about. All right, so let's start in on our adhesives. And we've got a bunch to show you today. So I'm going to try and go kind of quick. I'm going to show lots of sample cards, and then we're going to make a gift card holder today. So I'm really excited about that. So let's start with the basics. The thing I use probably the most often, and I'm actually on page 162 of our catalog. So if you ever are curious what some of these things are, we've got great descriptions. This is our annual catalog. If you don't have an annual catalog, please let me know. Comment, need a catalog, and I will, or private message me via Facebook. Or if you're on YouTube, just comment, I need a catalog, or go to our sign up for my newsletter link, and that'll get you a catalog as well. So I want to make sure you get one, especially because we've got new catalogs coming out in January. Now, our annual catalog will still be active, but we've got some special stuff coming out in January as well. So page 162 for all our adhesives. I'm going to set that aside. So that's out of the way here, hopefully. It's out of the camera. And I'm going to start with the ones I use most often. So the first thing I probably go to and grab most often is our Stampin' Seal. Stampin' Seal is great. It's a tape runner. So what that means, and you've got this great little lid on it, is it's double-sided adhesive. So whenever I use it, I'm going to run it across, and it's going to create sticky for me. I've got some paper over here to show you. So as I'm running it across, you're going to see it, red was the perfect color to choose because I can see it really well here. You're going to see that show up, and now it's sticky. So whatever I stick to this, it's really sticky, is going to stay. This is pretty much multi-purpose. It's great for paper. You might use it on maybe some lighter embellishments. So if I have some lighter ribbon, I'll use it on the back maybe of a card to hold my ribbon, or the back of paper to hold my ribbon. But pretty much I use this one all the time. Now, it is refillable, which is really cool. So when you first buy it, you buy the whole case, the case with the adhesive inside. When you want to buy a refill, the Stampin' Seal refill is going to be less expensive. So that's awesome. So Stampin' Seal is $8, and your refill is $5.50. And when you refill it, the only thing that you get is you get all the inside pieces, because this pops open. Be gentle with it right here, since I don't want it to come apart since I'm still using it. And this piece just comes right out, and you just pop a new piece in. You put your cap back on. You've got your lid here, and that's it. And you just, very easy to replace. So I love that about our Stampin' Seal. So this is pretty much my go-to. You see me use this a lot on lives. And that's just because it's easy. It's easy, and it holds. Like, it's gonna stick, it's gonna stay, it's not gonna go anywhere. The second thing I use most often is our Tombow Mono Liquid Glue. And this is our multi-purpose glue. Stampin' Up! Doesn't make it exclusive. We contract out with Tombow. It comes with two sides. It comes with a kind of larger side. So if you're doing bigger projects, this is just rubber here. It's going to give you a lot of coverage if you're doing larger projects, and you can kind of see where it'll come out, and then you'll actually use this rubber piece to smooth it out. You can see mine is completely clean because I absolutely never use that side. The other cool thing is inside the cap, you'll see there's a little stopper in there that goes inside, so it's not going to clog, which I love. I use the other side a lot. So I use this side, which is the fine tip side, which is perfect. And again, you've got the stopper inside, so it's not going to clog up. If you ever do get a little clog, you just kind of peel it off the top and it comes right off, and then you're good to go again. The nice thing about this adhesive is you have total control over it. You can do little dots. Can't even see my little dot, it's so small. Okay, there's a smaller one, bigger one. You can do little tiny dots or big dots. You have a lot of control when you're using this liquid glue. The other thing I really like about liquid glue, especially if I'm gluing a larger piece of cardstock to another piece of cardstock, is it kind of shifts, it moves, right? So it gives me a little bit of time to wiggle before it sticks. So you've got about maybe 5 to 10 seconds to kind of position it just where you want it before it's going to go permanent. So that's nice if you're doing a project where you want a certain, like an edging on it, and you want to get it just perfectly straight. You'll see me grab this quite a bit. That's one of my favorites. Another one of my favorites is our glue dots. Another thing, we don't manufacture these directly. They're manufactured through Glue Dot. What's great is you can buy all your favorite adhesives through Stampin' Up though, right? So glue dots come in a roll, and we sell the mini glue dots. I'm sorry I didn't tell you how much the multi-purpose glue is, $4. So that's the other nice thing about it. Super economical. Obviously there's not a refill for this, but at $4, that's awesome. Like you can't get that in the craft stores for that, for sure. Mini glue dots are $5.25, and these are awesome because I use them a lot on ribbon projects. So for instance, on this ribbon project, where I wanted my ribbon to stay, like I wanted it to come out here and stay here and have a nice finish to it. Now you get this card in the mail and you're like, ooh, that's so pretty. You don't realize that there is multiple little glue dots underneath here holding these all together so that it's not wiggling everywhere. It's staying right where I want it to stay because I slipped one of these little glue dots, and glue dots are just little tiny double-sided adhesive. Stick one here so you can see it. So it's this little tiny double-sided adhesive dot, and they are tiny. Little tiny. And they're perfect for under your embellishments. They're perfect for under your ribbon, perfect for under your, oh gosh, any of your type of embellishments. They're great for like little pieces like this. So this is an extra little piece of cardstock, and you can just put a couple glue dots under there and stick it on. And then it's just easier than trying to run your larger adhesive over it. So you can see it's quite a bit smaller than the width of our Stampin' Seal. So super fun to be able to do that. Love glue dots. My kids love glue dots. They're really easy for kids to use. So my daughter and my son use glue dots quite a bit because it's so much easier for them than trying to use maybe a liquid adhesive that can get a little messy, a lot messy. So that's what I use. The other one of my favorite, I mean, these are all my favorites, guys. Can you tell? I can't. I just keep talking about adhesive. We have Stampin' Dimensionals. So if you've ever been to a class of mine, if you've ever done a crafting project with me, a lot of our kits, our paper pumpkins, all come with their Stampin' Dimensionals. And we have a variety of Stampin' Dimensionals. So first, we have our regular size Stampin' Dimensionals. Stampin' Dimensionals are $4. And it's going to come with, I think it's 400. It's a lot. 300. So you get 300 Stampin' Dimensionals in here. So that's 300 of these little hexagons that are double-sided foam. And so, oh, I got a glue dot stuck on there. I don't know where that came from. Okay. So they're double-sided foam, and they're sticky on both sides. You can tear off this little piece here, and you're going to get sticky on both sides, which is awesome. So it just lifts up whatever you're putting it on. So it's going to give things a little bit of a lift, and I'll show you some cards with some samples. Sometimes it's hard to tell on camera, but I promise you in real life, these are awesome. I use them almost on every single card. I was going through my cards, and I'm like, yeah, there's not a lot of cards here I've made that don't have dimensionals on them. They're my favorite. Now, I said 300 come in a pack, but the really cool thing is the outside is not included in that. And so when you look at the outside here, and I'm going to try and peel this up and see if that'll work. You have these outside pieces that go all the way around. Don't throw those away. Don't throw those away. Cut them and use them. They are awesome too. You've got it all the way around the outside, and that's going to give you even more length and more time with your dimensionals. Totally worth it. The other thing I do is I cut them in half. So a lot of times if I have a smaller project or a smaller piece, I'll just cut these little guys in half. It works great. So Stampin' Dimensionals. We also offer our pack of mini dimensionals. So let me show you what those look like. Mini dimensionals are also $4. And you get 720. Now again, remember, you get 720 of the little hexagons, But you've got this outside edge here too that you can definitely use. So let me just show you how the difference in size on these guys. Look how tiny they are. Again, they're going to give you the exact same amount of lift. So you're not going to have a difference in your lift. A little bit of lift. Oh, I guess you have a little bit of difference. The minis are going to be just a tiny bit smaller. But you can see the size difference. Look at these right next to each other. So one is so tiny, but that's perfect for your buttons, your ribbon. If you want to pop that up, it's perfect for just those little tiny sentiments or the little snowflake you cut out that you want to pop up on your page. The little sentiment that you've trimmed and you want to put those underneath. So these are perfect for that. You definitely put these on my sheet here so you can see them. They are awesome to have. Now, like I said, a lot of times I'll just cut my big one in half and that's good enough for me. But sometimes you just want to be able to grab the mini and have it handy and be able to use it. So this is a great tool, and at $4, these go a long, long way. They make great stocking stuffers too for any of your crafty friends who who just need a little something in their stocking. They're a great gift to give as well. All right, I'll set that aside. I'm trying to put that back. That's not going to work. So those are our dimensionals. Now we have one more set of dimensionals, and these are our black dimensionals. And at first I thought, why am I going to buy black dimensionals? And then I realized, especially during Halloween time, I actually do this a lot during some of like my festive cards, my more masculine cards. I use darker colors. And so when you're layering a dark color on top of a dark color and you have that white in between, you can kind of turn and tell, let me see, that there's a dimensional under there, right? So for instance, this card has dimensionals to pop up the card on top or pop up the embellishment here. They're white. You can see that. Hopefully you can see that in the camera. And they're white, and they go great because they're white. If this was a dark colored paper and I was adhering it to a dark colored paper, that white is going to stand out. And so it's nice to have black dimensionals, which get really well hidden. So again, you've got the minis. So same thing, it's just the foam on this is black instead of white. And then for our larger ones, again, it's black adhesive foam. As soon as you peel that off with the adhesive, it's just black. And so that's really nice to have for your darker cards. So if you spend a lot of time with dark navy and blacks and grays, it's nice to have the black stamped dimensionals. Now they come in a combo pack. So you're going to get 4 sheets. You're going to get 2 of the larger hexagons and 2 of the minis. And those are $6 a pack. So you're going to get a variety, which is really nice. Love having that variety. Hi, Laura. Good to see you today. We're going over adhesives, all kinds of fun adhesives. So that's Stampin' Dimensionals. Now, there's a couple things I don't have that are in our catalog that I love, and I certainly need to order some more. So we also have our foam. So all of these things are just foam with double-sided adhesive, so adhesive on the front and the back. We have them in strips. So they do come in long, thin strips. I love those. So, for instance, the card I was just showing you that has, it's a card on top of a card, essentially. So there's a little card on top of a bigger card. And I popped that up with dimensionals. What I would have loved is to have those strips because it would have made my life so much easier, right? I could have strip, maybe put one in the middle, stick it down. Then you get a really nice hold, and then you're not using 800 dimensionals underneath. The other thing we have is actual foam strips that are double-sided, but they're all one piece. And the cool thing about that is you can run them through your die cut machine. So if you have our die cut letters, or maybe you have a snowflake, or you have something that you want to pop up and you want it to be exact, you want it to match your die perfectly, you run that through your die cut machine and it cuts just like it cuts cardstock. It's beautiful. And then you've got that dimensional piece to kind of raise up, and it looks exactly perfect. So your intricate dies, it's perfect for those. So those are our foam adhesive strips and our foam adhesive sheets. Those are both $8 each. And like I said, they're absolutely awesome and available in the catalog. So page 162 if you want some more info. All right, one of the other of my favorite adhesives, and I don't use these as often, but I definitely use them for specialty projects. So we have our, help me here, where can I think of the name? It's blanking. Oh, our tear and tape. So tear and tape is basically double-sided adhesive that you put down, and so you literally just tear it off. It's great. Super easy to use. You stick it down, then you're going to come back and you're going to lift that adhesive piece off, and you've got your double-sided adhesive. So now whatever I stick to it is going to stick. You'll notice if you see it is thicker than our Stampin' Seal, and that's because it does give you a little bit stronger of a hold. So I'm going to make a card for you today that is a gift card holder card, and I'm going to use our tear and tape because I want the sides of that adhesive to stay really, really firm. I don't want them to go anywhere. And tear and tape is a really easy way to do it because it also gives you adhesive exactly where you want it, right? It's not going to go crazy. It's not going to go anywhere. It's going to go exactly where you put it. So it's really nice to have. If you're working on, I work on box projects sometime. I wish I had one quickly I could grab for you. They're all on my back shelf. But sometimes I'll make boxes with lids. When I do that, I like to use tear and tape because I like to put all the adhesive down first and then build the box one side at a time. And that way I can tear off the adhesive, build that side, move to the next side, tear the adhesive, move the side, and my stuff isn't getting all sticky while I'm trying to work. So super, super nice. Love that adhesive. That's tear and tape adhesive. Another one I don't use as often, but I definitely use it for specialty projects, is our Stampin' Seal Plus. So we've got Stampin' Seal, and you can tell it's the light blue, and Stampin' Seal Plus is the dark blue. So Stampin' Seal Plus is going to give you a much stronger hold than the Stampin' Seal. Again, Stampin' Seal is great for multi-purpose. I use that for all my paper. That's the one I grab first. Stampin' Seal Plus, I don't know if you can tell here, it actually comes in little strips as you're doing the tape runner. It's going to come out in tiny little strips, and it has a super, super strong hold there. So it's perfect for your projects that require a stronger hold. So things like boxes, where you know people are going to open and close it, and open and close it. You want those to stay strong, and you want them to stay permanent. This is the thing to use for sure. I used it on this card, and I used it to hold my bow. So it is great for your heavy embellishments. I wish I brought my card up. I have some, we sometimes come out with metal charms. So in our next catalog, we have these little ladybugs. They're adorable. I can't wait to show those to you. But they're metal. And so I'm always like, well, how do you stick metal on a card? Because it looks awesome, but it's heavy. You use your Stampin' Seal Plus. That's how you're going to get it to stay and have it very permanent. Like, this is not going anywhere. I can jiggle this bow around. I can stick it in an envelope, pull it out of an envelope. It's going to stay because it's got that Stampin' Seal Plus on it. So it's not going anywhere. I mean, I'm not going to, like, yank on it hard, but you can see I'm pulling. It's not going anywhere. So that's a great one to use if you're doing some of those larger embellishments on your projects. So love Stampin' Seal Plus. I keep that around because I definitely will use that. I definitely use it for my bigger ones. The other thing that we have, and Stampin' Seal Plus is similar to the Stampin' Seal. It has a refill. And so when you use it, just like your Stampin' Seal, you can purchase the refill as well and just swap those out. Stampin' Seal Plus is $12 and the refill is $8. So it is more expensive, But again, you don't use it nearly as often. I'm not going to use it nearly as often as my Stampin' Seal. You can use this on your regular card projects. It works great. Those things aren't going to go anywhere. But I would recommend for just paper on paper, your Stampin' Seal, your regular Stampin' Seal is good enough. Absolutely is going to have a great hold. I mean, all of our stuff has a great hold on it. It's not going to dry up, and in a year you're going to go back and it's all dry and it falls apart. Nope, our adhesives don't do that. They're amazing. So next is our fine tip glue. So this is great if you're doing those very fine glue projects. So I've got a couple here. I got a big pile over here of stuff, guys. I just wanted to show you. Okay. So, and then I'm going to show you an alternative to the fine tip glue, just depending on what you like. So, have you seen this Blossoms in Bloom? I love this set. This is in our annual catalog, but this is a die. Hopefully you can see that. That's a die cutout. There's two different cutouts there. There's the blue and then there's the white. And that blue is so fine that it's hard, even when you have your multi-purpose liquid glue, it's hard to even get into those fine areas to get glue to be able to stay. So maybe on your bigger leaves you're good, but for some reason it's just hard. It's the tip is fine, but it's not as fine tip as this. So this is our fine tip liquid glue. And the first thing you'll notice when you open it is you're going to take off this cap, and it has a nice sharp little pin in there. It's not too sharp. But that's what keeps your lid from clogging. That's what keeps your glue going through this bottle at such a fine tip. And then you can see that tip is super, super fine. A little glue on mine. Super, super fine tip. When you put it back together, you're going to want to actually line it up. It's a little bit of a pain, but it works great. You're going to line it up, and you're going to actually stick that right back in so that you have that all the way in your fine tip so it doesn't clog. I hate it when I get fine tip glues that clog. This prevents that. Now, I'm not using I see people use needles. I've seen people use all kinds of things to keep theirs from clogging. We don't need that. It's built into the cap, so that's awesome. When you use it, you're just going to apply gentle pressure, and you'll see a very fine amount of glue is coming out. So super, I mean, you can get it even skinnier than that. I was applying quite a bit of pressure there. You're going to get such a tiny, tiny bit of glue that you can use this to write. You can use this for all your projects that require that really fine tip. And it dries nice and clear. So I use it on things like sequins, especially our tiny little sequins. Aren't those so cute? But they make it look gorgeous. Again, using it on these beautiful blooms because I've got to get into that little tiny cracks. Things like our layering dies where you have a word that you're layering on top of another word. You want to make sure, especially, I mean, look at that little I, the dot on the I. You want to get in there. So lots of ways to use our fine tip glue. Now, one of the other things that I use quite a bit is our adhesive sheets. And our adhesive sheets, sorry, they're blasting Christmas music out there, which is awesome, but it was getting kind of loud. So our adhesive sheets are great if you're die cutting. So if you have a die cut machine, really any die cut that you use. Now, we obviously have our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which is amazing. By the way, the fine tip glue is $7 for the fine tip glue, and it lasts a very long time. That's going to last you a really long time, and it's not going to dry up because you've got that pin in there. Our adhesive sheets are $10 a pack, but you get quite a few. You get 12 sheets, and you can see they're pretty large size sheets. They're 6 by 12, so they'll cover half of a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. Like they're giant, but they are great for all die cutting machines. So if you have a Cricut, if you have a Cameo, if you have any of those electronic die cut machines, any of your manual cut machines, this is great because it's going to put adhesive on the back in a thin film. Thin enough that you don't have to adjust your settings. You're not going to have to do anything crazy to get it to run through. I've worked with some adhesive sheets before, I won't mention any names, that are so thick because they put such a thick amount of paper on them that when I try and run them through my die cut machine, I can't. I have to either get special plates or add shims for more pressure. Like they just don't cut through all the way. These cut through all the way. And that's what's been really nice about them. So I tend to use these for anything that's going to have more intricate dies involved. So I'm going to use those today to make one of our cards. Well, to just show you. So really quickly, we'll see if we get to this card here. So I used it on the word bright. What I did was I took my dies, and so this is from the Peace and Joy. Now, I haven't told you yet, but our holiday catalog goes on sale in 2 days. 2 days. And as soon as that sale hits, it is while supplies last. That's right. So if you want anything out of the holiday catalog, that awesome, wonderful holiday catalog, now is the time to snag it. I'm going to send an email tonight with the list of all the things that are on sale and all the things that are retiring. And remember, we retire most of the catalog. It's a very short list of things that are not retiring. So anything on the list I send you tonight is retiring, and it will be available while supplies last, including one of my most favorite bundles that we have in the catalog, the Peace and Joy bundle. I love this. I've made so many cards for you guys with it. Here's another one, this Merry and Bright. I just love this stamp set. Look, Joy. Oh, so pretty. And I love the dies that go with it, but they are intricate dies. And so, I should probably put these all back together at some point. So when I use them, look at that. Slide that in there. They all layer together. So you've got 3-step layering for the word bright, the word peace, and the word joy. So I've got the word bright, which I've done on all 3 pieces, and I love it because it gives it so much dimension. Even just stacking cardstock on top of each other, it feels embossed. It feels like it took time to make that, right? That's quality. So I started with joy just to show you. So I've got the first 2 pieces of joy done. And now I need to do this little intricate piece of joy. So this is the hard part, right? This is the part where you cut it out and then you're like, how do I even glue that thing down? Because it's just such a thin piece. Now, I would recommend first to use your fine tip glue pen if that's something you have available to you. That's a great thing to use. But because you know you're going to die cut it, I love using our adhesive sheets. So I'm going to take out one of our sheets so you can see these. They're awesome. And see how thin they are? They're so, they're not thick at all. They're not going to get stuck in your machine at all. They're not going to give you so much extra weight that you can't put them through, which is the best part. So I'm going to take a piece of real red. So I keep scrap bags. I don't know if any of you guys do this. I sort all my scraps by color. So I've got a big bag of all my red scraps. And I'm just going to pull one out that will work with joy. So this is real red. That should definitely cover joy. set that aside. I'm going to cut it to the smallest amount I need because I really don't want to waste anything here. I love my adhesive sheets and I don't want to waste them. So let's see. Oh yeah, I can get that nice and small here. Okay. And then I'm going to use my adhesive sheet to stick to the back. So I'm going to cut my adhesive sheet out to match the size that I'm using. It's going to be too big, a little here. And just set that adhesive aside for the next time you want to use it. Now I'm going to go ahead and tear the adhesive off. There are ridges in it, so you can actually kind of separate it. If you don't have a ridge, it's okay. It really is pretty easy to separate. So you can see there's these little lines that go through to separate. But it's really simple. I guess if I had super long fingernails, it might be more of a challenge, but I have not had an instance where I've had an issue getting the adhesive backing off. Okay, so that comes off real easy. And that's all sticky. So you don't want to play with it too much. You really do want to get it on your paper as fast as you can. And that's it. So you can see it's just such a thin layer. It's going to run through the die cut machine. You don't even have to press hard on it because as soon as you throw it through the die cut machine, it's going to give that pressure to get it stuck. So I'm going to run it through just like that. All right, do that off camera here. My awesome Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Sorry, my table is kind of wobbly. All right, wobbly. I think I meant wobbly. So I got that cut. I'm going to pull off Joy. If I need to pop it out, I can use my my Picket tool. Don't worry, I'll be showing this on another 12 days because it's my favorite tool, along with our paper trimmer. So easily pops right out, right? I can pop these little guys out. And now I've got adhesive on the back. Look at that. Piece of adhesive right on the back. I don't even have to worry about how I'm going to get this to stick on my word joy. Because look how tiny that is. I mean, that's pretty intricate. I can just peel it off and it comes off really easy. And this whole thing is sticky now on the back. So I'm just going to line that up with my word joy. Sticking to me. And there we go. That's it. And now it's stuck. I didn't have to pull out the glue. I didn't have to get super messy. Which I'm not a big fan of getting too messy. I didn't have to go all crazy with it. And now it's stuck there. And I could have done that on this side as well. And then I've got my word joy and it's going to stand out and be super cute on my card. Right? Love, love, love it. And again, the Peace and Joy bundle is going to be on special next Tuesday. Tuesday the 8th is when all of this goes on sale. So do not miss that out. I think the dies actually go for 25 or 30% off, which is amazing. So do look. Sometimes the bundle itself won't be on sale, but the individual pieces will be on sale. So you'll want to buy them separately because it's just going to give you a better deal. All right, so that's how you can use your adhesive sheets. We're going to quickly use a lot of our adhesives here to make a gift card holder. So these are some of my favorite cards. They're super simple to make, but I love them because you can easily slip. I've got a gift card here, I do. You can easily slip a gift card right into the side and give that to a friend, right? What a great card to be able to give someone. And that Merry Moose, he's so super cute. We're not going to use the Merry Moose today, but we will definitely use some of our other cute stamps. to make this card, and I just want to show you how simple it is, and then I'll show you a couple more card samples before we go. I had a class yesterday, and I put all my stuff away. There's my paper trimmer. I always lose my stuff when it's where it's supposed to be. Of course, I put it away. Why, oh why? But I think that it might be there. All right, I'm gonna grab out some paper really quick. I'm gonna start with some blackberry. So when we do a card base for a gift card holder, we're gonna do our card base opposite of maybe our normal A2 cards base. So it's gonna be more of a fun fold card. So we're gonna actually start with our card base, and we're gonna cut the long way. And we're gonna cut it 4 1/4 inches, which is halfway. If you are looking at the 8 1/2 here, that's halfway down our paper. So I'm just cutting that right in half. Now the scoring is what's gonna take a little more. So when we score this, let me double check my scoring. I'm pretty sure I'm at 2 1/2. Good for me. Look, I memorized this one. All right, so we're gonna score at halfway, which is our normal way that we score. So halfway from the 11 inches is 5 1/2. So I'm just gonna score that using my score blade. Don't use your cutting blade. Tuck that away. That's why we have this great paper trimmer that tucks away. And then I'm just gonna slide it to the left, and I'm gonna score at 2 1/2. And that's gonna be that fold part that I can fold underneath. That fun fold, right? To make that gift card holder. All right, so I've got it scored 2 1/2 and then 5 1/2. And then I'm gonna come in with my paper. So I went ahead, and this was actually something we used yesterday at card class. So the first Saturday of every month I have live card class. And we used this amazing embossing folder to create this beautiful piece of snowflake paper, right? That's not paper. It's just a piece of Pacific Blue cardstock and our Pacific Point cardstock, and all we did was emboss on it using our winter snow embossing folder. That embossing folder is also on the retiring list, friends. So if you want that, now's the time to get that. We're gonna cut this down so that when we fold all the pieces, fold those here, we're gonna put that right on this front piece here. So I want that to be kind of the prominent snowflakes that you see when you open this card up. So it could be used as a winter birthday card. You can see the colors I'm using. Blues and purples are not your traditional Christmas colors, but they're super pretty. So we're gonna actually cut this down. So this could be 5 1/4 is our length. I think I might already have it 5 1/4. No, it's not. We're not going that way. We're going this way. So 4. So we're gonna go 4 inches, and I want it to be just to show that purple on the outside. And then we're gonna go to 3, 2 3/4. I'll put these measurements up so you don't have to guess. 2 3/4 here. That should give me my perfect piece. And that's gonna go right on the front there. Isn't that pretty? Just love those snowflakes. Such a pretty way to do it. All right. And remember, I cut everything first and then I put it together, just in case you make a mistake. It does happen. Not very often, but just in case. I'm sure it absolutely never happens to you guys. But it certainly happens to me. I might accidentally stamp something on the wrong side. Definitely done that before a few times. All right. And then I'm going to take our shimmer white. So this paper, and it's hard to tell even in the camera light, this paper has shimmer in it. It's white paper, but it actually has a really beautiful shimmer inside the paper. So it's not glitter. It's not going to flake off. It's just this really pretty shimmer. And so we're going to cut that to 5 1/4 by 4. So that's already all cut for me. And that's going to be the inside piece of my card, where I'm going to stamp my sentiments for this one. Love it, love it. And then we're just going to start stamping and put it together. So I did grab a stamp set. I grabbed our Warm and Toasty. I love this stamp set. And unfortunately, again, this is on the retired list. So if this is something you want to get your hands on, you want to make sure you do that soon, because that is going to be retiring. Grab some blocks out here. And I wanted to put a couple of these little guys. There's just some really, really cute. I mean, look at these little guys here. I love these polar bears. They're adorable. I love these little singing rabbits. And then the sentiments on it are super cute as well. So you've got things like Warm and Toasty wishes to you. Here's to a cool Yule, sharing Christmas cheer. All of those really fun sentiments. So I'm going to start by stamping on our white. So this is actually going to go on the inside of our card, and it's that shimmer white, but it stamps really well. So if you are stamping on it, don't worry. You can stamp on it. You can color on it with our blends. It's going to do really well. So we're going to start with black. And this is just our Memento black. And then I'm going to pull out all our colors here. We've got our Blackberry Bliss and our Pacific Point. I'm actually going to start with our cute little polar bear, because I want him in the corner here with some little snowflakes coming down. So just pull our cute little polar bear. Put him on a block real fast. And we're going to stamp him in the black. And then if you want to color him in later, you can. You can color him right in here. And he's going to peek right out there. Isn't he cute? He's adorable. He's going to peek out from the card too. And so that's kind of you want to think about like what's showing when you fold this card, because you're going to fold it and you're only going to see part of the card base. We're going to stamp some Pacific Point on there in our little, why am I blanking? Our little snowflakes. And I want these to be Pacific Point, but I don't want them to be quite so dark. So I'm just going to take a piece of scrap paper I have sitting over here, and I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp. And then I'm going to stamp off and stamp. And you can see I'm just kind of moving it around as I stamp. Oh. Fix my little snowflakes there, stamp off, and stamp. I think we need a bigger snowflake on there too. There we go. All right, so he's surrounded by snowflakes. He's super cute. Cute little bear. Then I'm going to choose my sentiment, and I'm going to stamp that on there as well. So this is going to be sharing Christmas cheer. And I'm going to stamp that in our red, or our purple here. It's kind of a cross. It's a Blackberry Bliss, so it's definitely that blackberry color. And we're going to stamp that sentiment right up at the top. And you just want to make sure wherever you're stamping it, it's going to be kind of hidden. Didn't get quite dark enough. I may have to flip this over and start again. That's okay though. That always happens on camera, live, for everyone to see, right? There we go, much better. Yeah, just ordered some refill for that too, because I think that's getting a little dried. Then I might go back and stamp my Demonstrator one more time. See, it happens to me too. Doesn't kind of turn out the way I want. You just flip it over and stamp it again. There we go. We've got our bear. We just need our snowflakes. Now I can fix my snowflake too. And it'll be perfect when we put it on. Ink it. You're going to stamp off and then stamp your snowflake. So you get that nice kind of lighter snowflake color there. There we go. And we've got our little snowflakes. Perfect, perfect. Fix this edge here. Some more little snowflakes. There we go. All right. And then I'm going to set that aside. And stick this all together with all our adhesives. So lots of different types of adhesives that we're going to use today. Grab my bone folder. I'm going to give these a nice crease since I really want these to stay down. I'm going to start with my inside and I'm going to use our tear and tape. So this is a great way to use your tear and tape whenever you have a gift card holder you're making. Because it's so skinny. So I'm going to just measure it out. And then I'm going to put it right along the top here. Because I really want this to have a really good hold. And I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. And again, this is giving me a nice hold, but it's also giving me a very thin layer here. And I don't have to wait for it to dry. It's going to dry. It's already dry, so all you have to do is just stick it together. Okay. And that peels up really easy. You're going to fold that over. Just stick that down. So that's it. Now you've got your pocket here for your gift card, and it's going to fit perfectly in there. Most standard gift card sizes are going to fit. No problem. Another thing you can do is if you have a punch, you can, before you adhere it, you can do like a little half punch in here or one of your tag punches. Look really cute on the edge here so they can kind of see the card. Now I'm going to start building my card. I'm going to start on the inside and I'm going to put in my cute little polar bear here. I'm going to use just our regular Stampin' Seal. It's paper to paper. I'm going to go around the outside. You do want to get close to that edge, and then maybe just one or two in the middle. And that's plenty of adhesive to keep this down. As I'm doing it, I just want to kind of make sure I've got the same amount of room on the top and the bottom. Cute. He's so cool. And look what happens when I fold it. All you see is a cute little polar bear. And then we're going to add just our beautiful snowflakes to the front. So super simple. We can add more if we want. I'm going to set my Stampin' Seal aside and I'm going to use my liquid glue for this. When you have embossing, this one isn't quite as dramatic, but when you have especially our 3D embossing folders where you have lots of layers of embossing, a liquid glue is going to get into the little cracks and crevices on your embossing. And so I use a liquid glue anytime I have embossing. And that's just going to make that stay even better. You're going to want to go around the outside and make sure you've got enough on the outside. Not too much because you don't want it to accidentally come flowing out. There you go. And that nozzle's great because it kind of helps you move it around. And again, once you get it down, you've got a few seconds to kind of move it and get it right where you want it to be. All right, so I've got that lined up. I'm just going to press and it's ready to go. If I wanted to, I could add something here. I could add a sentiment. I could add a little bow. It'd be really cute to have that there as well. So that is how you make a gift card holder. Super fun, super easy. I've got this other gift card holder here too. You can see I've added a circle punch and our scallop and created that one as well. Just a couple other cards to show you that I used lots of our certain adhesive on. So Stampin' Seal Plus. Again, if you're doing any type of gift bag, any type of gift box, this is a great way to do that. And just, this came from a swap. Forgive me, I don't know who made this, but I love it. So wanted to show that because this is one of my favorites. I did not create that, but I love it. You can tell a lot of time and thought and a lot of different adhesives went into this. So you've got your Stampin' Dimensionals, but definitely Plus is going to keep that on there really strong. Stampin' Dimensionals, again, I use them to pop up whole pages and whole sheets. When we have fun fold cards, you want to make sure you're using a good strong adhesive on whatever is folding. This time I used our Stampin' Dimensionals to just pop it up. This is another card where I had to use that fine tip glue. So this red piece and then underneath is Pear Pizzazz are really thin. So I hadn't used my adhesive sheets. I should have. That would have been quite quick. Instead, I actually used our fine tip glue on this, which took a little longer, but it works perfectly as well, especially when you have all those intricate little pieces that you're trying to glue down. This was another one of our cards. Love those fun folds. Definitely want to make sure you've got good adhesive on those. All right. Well, thank you all. Hopefully this was educational and fun. I really, again, wanted to share with you just some of my most favorite adhesives. Because I know sometimes you look at it and you go, why do we have 20 different adhesives? Why do we need a Stampin' Seal and a Stampin' Seal Plus? Why do we need all these different dimensional sizes? And so now hopefully you feel like you've got a better understanding of what would work best for you when you're doing your card making. So hopefully you've figured out kind of which ones you think you want to try and which ones you might like. So thank you all for joining me. Happy holidays. Today is day 6. Please comment on this post. I'm going to go through, and I haven't yet. I need to pull all the names from day 4. So hint, hint, if you're just now seeing this live, I haven't pulled the names from day 4 yet. So I'm going to do that right after I close, and I'll announce our winner of our 6x6 paper pack. I've got some great Christmas paper to give away. Some of it's retiring, which makes me really sad. But today I'm going to be giving away some of our ribbons. So I've got a couple samples of our beautiful winter ribbons, and I've got a whole pack for you. Yards and yards of beautiful ribbons. So comment on this live in order to get entered. You just need to comment, say hi, say hello. If you're watching the replay, say hi. And then if you share, you get an extra entry in the drawing. But in order to share, you have to comment that you shared. Sometimes Facebook will show me and sometimes it won't. You know, Facebook gets a little funny sometimes. So comment that you shared as well, and that'll get you that second entry into our drawing for all this beautiful holiday ribbon that I can't wait to give away. I'm going to let me show you some of it, right? You're going to get some of this gorgeous ribbon here. I've got some of this beautiful ribbon here. I've got tons, and it's all packed up beautifully, ready to go. So I've got one to give away for this live, so make sure you comment to get entered. And thank you all again. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Sunday, and we'll be seeing you live later on this week with more of our Stampin' Up 12 Days of Stampin' Up Christmas. Happy holidays!